In our last segment of videos on financial reporting attributes, characteristics, financial reporting, and those that produce it, there's one last attribute on each of those. We've talked about financial reporting needs to be useful, accurate, complete, transparent, timely, available, and innovative in a sense. On the characteristics of individuals, we've talked about intelligent, principled, to be humble, be honest and trustworthy, be hardworking and diligent, and creative. The last attribute of financial reporting is it needs to be cost effective. All of those processes, financial reporting, as one IT executive said to me one day, it's like a tax on the business. All these people try to make these sales to customers and they have to give a portion of their money to go support the financial reporting processes. It's very expensive to do, to keep track of all this data from all of these places according to all these standards and meet all these financial reporting needs. And to do that timely and consistently, that's not easy to do. And so we really do have to maintain a level of cost effectiveness. On those that work in this space, maybe this last attribute might be a little bit surprising. I find they also, in addition to their principled nature, and the most effective people also are caring. They recognize that they are serving the organization, but also that the organization is funding them, and that they want to contribute to the organization being successful and contribute to society by knowing where should we invest and where our money is going. I thought about this series and this last attribute. I thought of an individual I worked with years ago, Bob Kyle. I didn't know Bob very well. He's since passed away, but he was the CFO over part of my business, and I'd been given a set of money to invest to try to grow the business. And after a couple of years, it was clear that I wasn't going to be completely successful in that innovation. It was given to Bob to talk to me. I don't know who assigned him that, but Bob set up a meeting and said, Kip, we need to talk about the investment funding and how much we're spending on this and what the plans are around it. In the conversation, I outlined clearly where we were at, where it was going, and where I thought it might go. Bob said, Kip, I appreciate your being honest with me. I think we need to develop a plan to bring the spending down. Doesn't have to happen today. Doesn't have to be done in a radical way, but we need to make it more cost effective for the organization if we get out of these expenses that we're incurring. Can you come back to me with that sort of plan? He had to be tough. He had to help me understand that maybe I wasn't being successful and that I had to change course. That wasn't easy to do. As I spoke with someone that worked with him years later and mentioned this incident, she said, you know, behind the scenes, he could be very caring. He cared about when he had to do those kinds of things with people. And that's maybe not something that's very apparent and obvious in financial systems people, financial reporting people, but I think it's an important aspect of being a good financial reporting person, is that you're caring about what you do and what people take away from it and what the impact of what you do is. I hope this series on the attributes of financial reporting and the characteristics of those that produce it has been useful.